All right, everybody. Well, thanks for being here. My name is Tony Procopio. I'm one of the founding advisors here at Think Plus, along with my business partners, Jim, Brendan, and Ed Kenny, and our significant others. And this is our Tuesday call to action. It used to be called Call for Help, but now we have some events going on throughout the week by corporate which it's called office hours, where you can get your administrative questions answered, customer related administrative questions. This call to action is designed to be mini trainings plus Q&A for non-administrative, non-EA support related type questions. So when it comes to building and it comes to making money and things like that, that's what we want the questions to focus on here. And really, getting the information out. So if you have administrative questions, get onto the call for help. I'll pop that up on the screen as we go here as well. So we're going to talk about taking advantage of the Texas market, no matter where you live. We're going to talk about some other things as well, the New Jersey updates and promotions that are going on there, things that are happening in the Connecticut market, as well as some things that are coming to some electricity markets coming soon. I'm going to give you some preliminary details on that as we learned in Cabo. So a quick team update. Let's get through some of this. The Texas All-In promotion, you guys, amazing. What we have here, $20 normal standard cab plus $50 for every customer that signs up. So it's $70 for every customer. And then now through November 14th, for every customer that simply connects their smart thermostat to their Think Energy plan. That's all they have to do. There's another $50 there. So sign everybody up, even if they don't have a smart thermostat, let them go out and get one. And there's many ways to do it, including some ways where the local utility companies like Encore and CenterPoint and other local utility companies there, they actually have incentives to let people get smart thermostats at virtually no cost. So there's lots of ways to do this, and make sure that you're getting your customers registered. Again, it's $70 minimum, and then $120 when they connect their smart thermostat to their Think Energy plan. So to Think Smart. So very excited there. What's happening with this promotion? This is huge money, huge dollars here. And on top of all of that, and again, this runs for 8 months. This is more than eight and a half months. It started March 1st. So this is dollar-wise, this is the biggest, longest promotion we've ever had in the history of our company. And if you have not seen the video, the Texas All-In video, and you don't have it and you're not sharing it, get it. You can go on to our YouTube, Facebook, and Telegram channels, as well as our WhatsApp channels. You can get those links. We have short links to each of those videos so that you can share this quickly with people. When you combine the Texas Think Smart video, which is 1 minute long, that shows them how this technology works, and it's different than every other company that's out there. It's proprietary, making micro adjustments throughout the day to give them and unlock additional value and savings back to them. No one else is doing this. Okay, everybody else has Think Dumb. We have Think Smart. It's like AI. It's incredible what we've created here. So big difference between us and every other company with this smart technology. There are companies that talk about having smart thermostat and connect it to their plan, but all they're doing really is they're shutting off your thermostat. They're turning it way up so that the temperature can just rise, rise, rise. I was just talking to somebody the other day about this, and they said, oh, I was with another company. I don't know if I want to do the smart thermostat connection. And I said, well, why not? And they said, well, because I normally have my temperature at like 73 degrees when it's air conditioned. But when I connected my smart thermostat to another company, all of a sudden they let my energy, my temperature in the house go up to 82 degrees. He's like, and I was sweating and it was uncomfortable. And I just said, I don't want this anymore. And that's not what we're doing. We're making micro adjustments. They won't even see what's happening. They won't even feel it. It's a completely different technology than what everybody else has out in the marketplace. And that's why we say it's proprietary. People have been asking, what's proprietary about it? Micro adjustments. We're literally like turning, not to get too into detail on it, but we're turning the house into like a battery so it can be pre-cooled and then slowly rise up, but not so high that it'll be uncomfortable. We're talking about 99 99.9% of the time, maybe a 1 degree difference, but you still get the benefit and that $10 savings every month. So on top of that promotion and the technology that's there, this let's count the big chips, this Texas all-in promotion. If you take that Think Smart video and you have someone watch that and they don't want to be a customer, they're nuts. Okay, they're crazy. They should just do it. But if you're talking to someone as a potential advisor and you show them that Think Smart video, 1 minute, and then you show them the 2 minute Texas all-in video in 3 minutes. If they don't want to know more about how this works, with the money that they can make and the savings that they can bring to the customer, think about that. Taking a proprietary technology that no one else has in the Texas market, bringing it to people that you know to save them, guaranteed to save them money every single month just for connecting. And then you give them a way to make money for getting the word out. If they're not interested in that at that point and finding out more, like, okay, show me the whole plan and then show them the full video, the Texas video or whatever. If they don't want to know more about it after they watch those 2 videos totaling 3 minutes, I think it's time to just ask them to be a customer and move on to the next person on your prospect list, honestly. Because that's how this works, okay? If there's no interest in saving people tons of money long term in a market that rates are just through the roof and you get paid a lot of money to do it, I don't know what else there is. I mean, between giving a customer $100, for after 6 months of being our customer for electricity, and then $10 a month, that's $220 of value to the customer right out of the gate with our Think Smart Connected plan. And then you, as an advisor, being able to get up to $120 for doing that, or getting $120 for doing that, that's $440 or $340 that's being shared between you and the customer in that first year, plus residuals. You guys, this is an amazing platform that we have. I didn't even include the free energy club in that. So we're this complete unicorn in the energy space in Texas. And that's why all eyes and a lot of money is on Texas right now. This promotion, the all-in promotion, being able to get $5,000 at a time for hitting each one of these benchmarks, 500 customers, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500. You join now, let's say today, and you're already in as an EA, and you go and get 500 customers between now and July 31st, that's 5 months, you guys. That's 5 months of time. Think about that. Our fast start, accelerated fast start, bonuses for promoting through the compensation plan to director and 500 customer points is 4 months. So there's a lot of time here. I mean, you should be recruiting like crazy in the state of Texas. You'd be asking everybody you know, do you know anybody in Texas? And when they say no, if you don't live in Texas and you're in Connecticut where I am, or you're in Idaho, we have advisors in Idaho. We have advisors in Idaho that are asking people in Idaho, do you know anyone in Texas? And they eventually get a yes, and they're building into Idaho by showing those people in Texas that their friend in Idaho knows the plan. This is happening all over. You have people in Alaska doing this, people in Hawaii doing this. It does not matter where you live. It matters how many times you can ask your people in your network, everybody that you've ever known. All that matters is how many people can you ask that question to? Do you know anyone in Texas? If they say no, well, then let me ask you this. Do you know anyone who might know anyone in Texas? They might go, oh, yeah, I do. I thought you meant, do I know people specifically in Texas? I know some people who are from Texas, and they might know people in Texas, or I know people that worked in Texas, or I know people whose company is based in Texas. See, that's what you ask. Do you know anyone whose company is based in Texas? They might not even be in Texas. Or, I was talking to somebody the other day that works for this service company that goes and, like, after fires and natural disasters, they go in and they fix and clean up. You've seen their commercials on TV. They clean up the disaster and get their house back to normal and help people get their lives back together. And I was talking to somebody in that industry, and I said to him, do you know anybody in Texas? He said, no. I said, do you know anybody who might know people in Texas? He said, no, I don't think so. And I said, well, then do you know anybody who works for a company that's based in Texas? And he said, well, my company's based in Texas. And I'm like, so the first two questions didn't work, but he works for a company that's based in Texas. And I said, well, if your company is based in Texas, do you know anybody there at the company? He said, yeah. And I said, well, do people from Texas like that work what you do they do that in Texas? He's like, yeah, we have like 400 or 500 people that do what I do in the state of Texas because of all the tornadoes and different things, hurricanes that come through. And I'm like, so you actually know a whole bunch of people in Texas through work? He's like, yeah, I thought you were talking about personally know people. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So you guys, you have to be constantly asking over and over and over again. Had I not gone through that, had I just given up by saying, do you know anyone in Texas? And he said, no. The average EA, the amateur EA that's not looking to make it big in this business would give up after that first question. I'm not looking to be an average EA. I don't know if you are or not. This training is for people who are looking to make the big money in this business, right? That's what we're doing. So you want to knock on the door and keep asking, just keep prodding. This guy ends up knowing more than 500 people in Texas, but yet as work associates, right? But yet, when I asked him the question, do you know anyone in Texas? He said no. I mean, you guys, we have to understand people's mentality. So now you're asking people, do you know anybody personally, family, personal, friend, or work relationship? Boom. Do you know anyone on LinkedIn that might know people in Texas? It's like, yeah, maybe I do. So there's a lot of reasons here, but giving an extra $5,000 on top of all the bonuses that are there. Phil Santonicetto, our president of the company of Think Plus, said it last night best. There's over $100,000 here for you in the next 8 months if you go out and build a team like this. Like when you add up all these bonuses, if you take advantage and maximize this whole thing, when you add up the bonuses that you're going to get from cabs, and not even including the residuals, you go out and get these customers yourself, you're talking more than six figures. And if you and your team do it and you're the one leading the charge, you're talking about bringing in a six-figure amount of money in just 8 months, like right from the compensation plan. So this is a way for you to bring big leaders onto your teams, like other companies that are in the energy space, that are in, the solar energy space, the energy efficiency space, other companies that are in network marketing, and a lot of them don't have any kind of, a conflict of interest. They're all over this, you guys, in the state of Texas when they realize what we've put together. So you guys be reaching out. This is a big deal, obviously, in the state of Texas. I'm not going to go through all the house rules. You can learn about that. There last night we had a fireside chat all about Texas. We're waiting for the link. I just had that up on the screen here because I want to let you know that we did this, and we had it there last night. And there was a lot of information about Texas and some nuances. So you want to be on there. There's a promotion Q&A today on March 11th, talking about all the promotions that we have and going through all the details on our office hours at 3 o'clock today Eastern. So hop on there. It's a Q&A. Promotion and Q&A, March Madness in full swing in the state of New Jersey. Guys, there's a lot of stuff happening here. We opened up the ACE market in New Jersey, $50 for all enrollments there. Even if it's an open enrollment, 25 in the PSE&G territory. So now in those two territories in PSE&G, the minimum you're going to make is $55 for a customer plus 5 years of residuals. If it's an LMI customer, there's even more money. So in ACE, the minimum you're going to make is 50 plus 30. That's 80 for every customer in the ACE territory. And then if it's a low and moderate income customer in the PSE&G territory and ACE, you're making a minimum of $135. You are making $135 up front. And if they're in the select zip codes in the PSE&G territory, you're talking about $200 plus the 35. So that's $235 per customer for low and moderate income customers in the PSE&G territory in the select zip codes that are listed on thinksuccess.plus. On top of that, looks like very soon They're going to be opening the JCP&L territory for LMI customers. So that's going to be reopened, because there's such a tremendous amount of energy in that market from the teams that are there and doing things. So that's going to be happening shortly, you guys. So stay tuned for news on that if it hasn't happened already. It's coming. Rooftop solar, new product line, our first state, rooftop solar in Connecticut. There is no downside to doing this. The only thing we do, and I apologize, you guys, about my voice, came back from Cabo, and my wife and I both I had COVID first. She just tested positive for it. I might have to have a cough drop while I'm talking. I think that I will. Um, but I'll say that all we do with rooftop solar is get the lead in. This could not be an easier thing to do. And so, in addition to asking everybody that do you know people in New Jersey? You should be doing the same. I'm in Texas. You should be doing the same thing in New Jersey. We have a promotion here in New Jersey, and in Texas and New Jersey, you should be asking people more about those states than any other state because the company is putting more money there for you to help build that much faster. Of course, that's what we do. When we've had promotions in Maine and Illinois, and we've had promotions in Ohio, we've had double electricity customer promotions and double rank advancement bonuses for electricity markets in the past. You were always asking people about those electricity markets. We've had promotions for, like I said, the state of Maine, the state of Illinois, the state of New Jersey. We have things for Massachusetts. There's all kinds of promotions that have gone on. You always take advantage of the promotions. So in Connecticut, no different right now. This is really the first promotion we've ever had, not promotion, but new product offering that we've had in Connecticut since we launched electricity, and that's great. So all we are is the lead setter. It kind of works like this. When you talk to someone in Connecticut and you ask them, are you a homeowner? And they say, yeah. Have you ever thought of going solar before? It doesn't matter if they said yes or no. If they said, I already have solar, then great. Maybe you talk to them about, well, do you have a battery backup? No, I don't have a battery backup. Great. How would you like to get on a 15 to 20 minute free proposal, like no strings attached proposal online, no one coming to your house? How would you like to hop on to a virtual proposal so that they can talk to you about solar, maybe expanding your solar system, maybe talk to you about a battery backup, maybe talk to you about getting new solar, whatever it is? Would you like to do that? And if they say no, then say, well, how about if we give you $50 to do it? We're going to give them the $50 anyway for 20 minutes of their time. So I look at it this way. Do you own your own home in Connecticut? Yes. Have you ever thought about going solar? No, I really haven't thought much about it. I'm not really sure about doing it. Or, yeah, I thought about it, haven't done it yet. Great. How would you like to get a free proposal virtual where you spend 20 minutes to get a free proposal, no strings attached, no high pressure close? All they're going to do is give you a nice image of your home and what it would mean if you did solar anytime in the future, now or in the future. And we'll give you $50 for doing that. Can we do that? And then you know what? If they say no to that, say, listen, I'm trying to qualify for this trip to Cancun. And if I get 4 people, if I get a bunch of leads to get put in and eventually some of them turn into customers, I'll be able to qualify. But it'll help me just by you doing this appointment and me giving you $50 for free. It'll help me to qualify for this trip because I'll get some points for it and it'll count. Will you help me out that way? You guys use every possible thing you have to do. The customer gets $50 and there's over $1,000. There's $1,687 worth of bonuses here when people become a customer. And there's 10 years of residual, 10 years of points, and you get all kinds of Cancun credits for doing this. So it's amazing what we have. The fall leadership trip, as I talked about, is coming up. And one of the ways you can get on is to promote to regional director or above. But another way you get on is with Cancun credits. And you'll get credits for having a customer come in any market, 2 to 4 points, 2 more credits, I should say, 2 more credits if they do Think Smart in Texas. And then on rooftop solar, 2 and 50. 2 for the proposal presented and 50 when they become a customer. So you guys, there's 200 Cancun credits that get you on the trip. This is an easy thing to do. The widget is in your back office. And then Empower 25 coming up in Dallas, Texas. Another reason why we need to be asking everybody who they know in the state of Texas. Get your ticket now. It'll lock you in before the price goes up. Discounted room blocks will become available in April. You guys want to be on that. This is our schedule of events that we have throughout our week. As you can see, the fireside, the corporate office hour is today. The fireside chat for rooftop solar is Wednesday at 6, and then the Connecticut certification training is right after that. Another corporate office hour plus our Zoom training on Saturday with our fast start training. So we're going to be getting into a lot more trainings, it looks like, and doing a lot more Texas and Spanish type related trainings and events that are coming up as we move forward. So stay tuned for a lot of that to happen. What I want to do is share my screen as well, reshare my screen. I'll stop share and I'll reshare my screen right now because I want to share this with you guys. This is something that when you're talking to people in Texas, like this is something that you should know. Let's see if I can get this in full screen mode. I think I can. Maybe not. Okay, maybe yes, maybe no. Okay, well, we'll keep it at this. It's good enough. I thought I could get it into a fuller, larger screen, but it didn't work. Oh, maybe I did it the wrong way. Let me try one more time, guys. Okay, well, this is the power2choose.org website, power2choose, all spelled out with words, .org. This is where everybody in Texas goes to see what the current rates are available. It's where they check rates. This is what everybody does. So if we put in a zip code here, I don't know, we put in like 07002. I think that's maybe that's not a zip code. Maybe I had that wrong. 75002. There it is. I got that wrong. 75002. So that's a Dallas zip code. I was putting in a New Jersey zip code and mimicking Dallas. But there we go. So when we click on view your results, this is what comes up with all of the offers that are out there in the marketplace, right? And this is what people look at when they're deciding during the switching season in Texas, which is basically going to go into full swing. It's starting to ramp up now, but April, May, and June, biggest 3 months in the state of Texas for people choosing a new provider. Most people are on that cycle, like 70 to 80% of customers. Probably about 70% of customers choose a new supplier or renew with their existing provider. They have to do one of those two things in these 3 months. So we're heading right into the high time. This is high tide, right? What people need to do, and you as an advisor, when you're talking to people, no one wants a 3-month plan. No one wants short-term plans in Texas. It's not the way to go, because if you choose a 3-month plan right now, then you're going to have to choose a new plan in 3 months. And in 3 months, it's going to be the summer, and that's when rates go through the roof in Texas. So you have to tell people as an advisor, do not choose a 3-month plan. These are like plans so that they can just get you to pay more. Don't do that at this time of the year. Maybe in other times of the year it might make sense, but it certainly does not make sense to do that now. This is the worst time to pick a plan that's less than 12 months, honestly. So what you have to do is tell people and educate them. Go on to this thing where it says contract length, and you do it too. Put in 12 or more. Now let's take a look at the plans that are there. And you have to hit the refresh results at the top of the screen. Now, instead of 135 plans, there's only 39 plans, right? And now you're looking at plans that are 12 months or longer. But here's the thing. A lot of these plans, these companies are not showing their all-in rate. They're just showing 14 cents a kilowatt hour. We're actually showing our all-in rate, including the TDSP pass-through fees, including taxes, including monthly service charges. Everything is included in our rate. Some of these companies, they get tricky with it. You know, when you're looking at what they actually are doing, and you have to actually click on the fact sheet, which over here, there's a fact sheet. This is called an EFL, an Energy Facts Label, or a fact sheet. And it's good to know, what's there as far as, what companies are doing, because there's still a lot of baiting and switching going on with these companies. And so I'm just going to pick one right here that's a fact sheet from Rhythm Energy. And I'm going to specifically pick them because they have some things in their plan that look like they're similar to what we do. But when you look at this plan, let's go with 1,000 kilowatt hours. It's 14.8 cents. That's for 1,000 kilowatt hours a month. But there's also a base charge of $9.95. Okay. There's also an energy charge with a chart above, which you can actually look at, which is this one right here. And then there's the auto pay and paperless credit, where they'll give you a discount of $5 a month. But this price already reflects that you went on to auto pay and paperless. See, difference here. This is not a rate that shows you the all-in rate, because the only way you can get that all-in rate is if you actually go on auto pay and paperless billing. We don't require that with our rate. Our rate includes that for free. The connected thermostat, they'll give you $10 a month, and this rate is only if you connect your thermostat to that plan. Okay, and the Encore delivery charge. So you guys, there's some components here that you're not going to get. That rate is not the actual rate that you're looking at when you talk about an all-in rate, because they're assuming that you're going to do a whole bunch of other things. And so I just wanted to share that with you as just a tip when you're talking to people. It's always a great thing to go and get the energy facts label from your customer. They have it with their plan, or get a copy of their bill so that you can do an analysis, excuse me, of their bill, because that's where the magic happens. That's where the money is, right? The money is in going and helping customers understand, what they have available, and going. Oh, I apologize, guys. I knew my voice would last a certain amount of time, but I'll tell you that the value here is in being an advisor and helping people to understand what they're looking at. And when you can take a copy of their bill and break it down for people so that they understand what is happening on their bill, now you can compare apples to apples. Most of the time, I see a lot of advisors who go in, especially if they're new in the state of Texas, and they act like Texas works like all of our other markets for electricity, where here's your rate, here's our rate. That's how it is in Connecticut. That's how it is in Maine, in Illinois, in Ohio. But what happens is, a lot of times customers will say, they'll look at the think rate, and our rate is 14 cents or something like that, let's just say. Then they go to their customer and they say, let me take a look at your bill, or tell me what your rate is on your bill. And the customer goes and looks at the kilowatt hour charge on their bill. And their kilowatt hours is 10 cents. And so the EA and the advisor, the EA and the customer think, well, 10 cents is better than 14 cents. The problem is that bill that they're looking at, the 14 cents, does not include the delivery charges from the local utility company, the gross taxes and fees, the city tax, and it doesn't include the monthly fee. Our all-in rate of 14 cents, every rate we have, includes all of those things. So you have to go back in and add all those things up. And I just did this with a customer the other day, and it turned out that when they said they had a 10.8 cent rate and we were 14.5, I think, or whatever it was, they said, well, that's not as good as my 10.8 rate. And I said, yeah, but let's talk about adding in all the other charges that you have, because our rate includes them. So I said, go add these charges in, this one, this one, this one. And they started listing all the things that were on there. Then we figured out their total bill divided by the kilowatt hours, and realized that they were paying 21 cents per kilowatt hour. But their kilowatt hour rate from just the supply portion of the bill was 10.9. But overall, they're paying 21 cents. So you guys, that's where it is. That's where the magic happens in the state of Texas, is to let people know and understand that there's a difference between an all-in rate and just a supply or kilowatt hour rate. So if you wanted to compare our kilowatt hour rate to their kilowatt hour rate, in that example, we were actually like 8.9, our kilowatt hour rate versus their 10.9 or 10.8. So we're even better when you just compare that. But to be truthful and transparent, let's educate customers. That's what we're doing. We're finding a better way through education. That's the way we do this. So we're going to get a lot better at this. We have a short video coming out that's going to be showing this, a professional video done by corporate. That's like 2.5 minutes long, that actually shows you exactly what I just talked about so that everybody will understand it. And your customer could even look at it and understand it. It's great. So that's coming. We've got some other things happening, you guys, as well. I'm just going to float this out there because they floated it out in Cabo to us a little bit. And that is, there are some things coming to the PJM market. Now, when I say PJM, that means like states like Ohio and Pennsylvania and New Jersey. And these are areas where at this time of the year, every supplier has had difficulty competing in those markets because of how energy is bought by the utilities, what's been subsidized to give them a lower rate, how they've reported rates. There's all different things. But it's been a tough thing in those markets for the last couple months. We understand that. And it's going to change anyway. Our regular plans are going to flip all around, right? They're going to flip around and go to be the other way, that, oh, we're going to be very attractive. But what I'm going to tell you is that stay tuned. Can't tell you all the details. I don't even have all the details. But I can tell you that in states like Ohio and Pennsylvania and New Jersey, we are Think Corporate is working on a brand new way to be able to offer customized type plans for customers that is going to allow us to far excel, to far outpace what other companies are doing in the markets. And it's going to allow us to bring in a boatload of customers. It's going to be very attractive. No one else has ever gotten permission legally or had the desire, determination, or know-how to even think about doing this, let alone do it. This is going to be like one of the first in the industry to pull this off in a big way, and it'll separate us from all of our other competitors that are in the marketplace. So you guys, that's all I'm going to say on that, because I don't have any more details really than that. But there's definitely some big things that are coming in those states, and then maybe even more states after that. But I know specifically like Pennsylvania, Ohio, and New Jersey are states that we're really focused on. So you guys, I'm going to open it up to questions. Feel free to raise your hand if you have any questions or whatever. Just wanted to give you that quick update. Put it in the chat if you want. So I see, yes, I've had one and can't wait for PA. All right, great. Great. The Fabian clan. I love it. Appreciate that. Latasha. Let's see. Think EF is for all residential, not commercial. Everyone not reading the complete information has caused some heartache. Yeah, when communicating, yes, with commercial customers. Yeah, so our Think rate, our all-in rate for residential, it's not like for large commercial. If a customer has a commercial account, it's like a large commercial account, you definitely want to look into that and get in touch with EA support. Because if they're on like a larger commercial account, there's different pricing that's available when you get to kind of the larger commercial things, and it's tough to compare an all-in rate versus a competitor's all-in rate because the commercial market works a little bit differently. Tasha, you're right. There's definitely some areas there, but small commercial customers will have the ability, like we don't discern between a small commercial customer and a and a residential customer. That rate is there, for both of them. So I appreciate that. Pastor Isaac, thanks. Awesome information. I appreciate that. And thanks for that. I appreciate it. We're trying to speed up as fast as we can. So I'm definitely better than I was yesterday and better than the day before that for sure. So awesome. I love it. Yes, and the price disclosure is an example, Latasha. Yes, based on the average prices for residential meter customers and do not necessarily reflect your actual TDU charges as a non-residential customer. That's absolutely right. So here's the thing: the reason it says it like that when you're talking about the state of Texas with the TDU charges, the TDSP pass-through fees. When you're talking about that, the reason that we have to say the disclosure is an example based on the average prices right now is because in the state of Texas, the local utility companies that are servicing the lines and doing the meter reads and all that stuff, doing power outages, right? Um, that company has to reserve the right to change it at any time, the TDSP pass-through fees. And so for that reason, that's why the language is there in our agreements to say that, because look, tomorrow, if a big storm comes through Texas and the utility commission and the local utilities decide we need to jack up, the delivery side because we have to pay for this incredible storm that came through, well, then those prices are going to go up. So that's why we have to say that in the example and in the agreement. So I appreciate that. Latasha, awesome. Latasha, we might have to get you on one of these Texas calls. You seem to be very knowledgeable in that market. We'll do that at some point. So, Joseph, should I sign up electric customers in New Jersey now or wait for what's coming? Well, that's up to you because it's up to you how you want to do it. The New Jersey utilities have let people know that rates are going up. 15 to 20%, some of them say 25 up to 25% for electricity rates in the state of New Jersey. And it's going to happen in the May-June timeframe, generally June 1st. So that's already been announced publicly by the utility companies and by, the news outlets. So it's up to you. But I mean, in my personal situation, I would say, well, I would sign them up now because that means it's only going to get worse for everybody. So that's up to you how you want to do it. It takes generally a month or two. It's 2 months to sign them up. So if you think about it, if you signed them up in March, they would probably become a customer in May. Maybe if they want to keep their rate low for another month, you sign them up a month from now, so they'll become a customer in May or June, which would then coincide with the exact timing as far as when they are going to get hit with a new utility rate that goes through the roof, so to speak. So that being said, that's up to you how you want to handle it. We do have flexibility with our customers to be able to move in between plans and things like that in most of our states. And on top of that, if the rate, goes up and it just doesn't go up high enough, or who knows what, I mean, anything could change, but it's pretty much straightforward now that they've talked about it publicly. But they could always just go back to the utility company at any time they want. No harm, no foul. Or in the state of New Jersey, if they sign up with you right now and they forget to renew later on, but rates go up, I mean, if they forget to renew, they'll be sent back to the utility. So in that state, so they'll never pay more than the utility, but there'll be that much more of a reason for them to then renew with you or change their plan if rates go through the roof. So it's kind of like that in all the markets, including in Texas. It's kind of like you sign them up at the rate and they have price protection in case rates go through the roof. But then if they want to switch, we have the ability to, in some states, pay no fee to move to a new plan, or in some states, pay a small product change fee, $29.95, to be able to then move to that new plan. So, Don, yes, in the Free Energy Club. I mean, the Free Energy Club is such a big deal, you guys, and a lot of people miss that. I mean, we have customers in New Jersey and other states where, the rates weren't that great. They were even, or they weren't that competitive for a longer term. And that's going to happen in markets. This is a commodity market. Energy is going to ebb and flow. That's why we update our rates every month on our electricity rates and community solar offers on the rate board on the product comparison guide in our back office. Actually, it's public. It's public record in thinksuccess.plus. It's not even in the back office anymore. So I would say that, with the free energy club, it's a home run because you'll have customers that especially if it's a community solar market like New Jersey. I mean, why in New Jersey wouldn't you become a customer right now today for electricity when you can then go out and refer your friends and family to become free energy club customers? You can refer yourself to become a community solar customer in New Jersey. That's one customer referral. So you become an electricity customer first, then you refer yourself as a community solar customer. That's one. Then you refer two more people to community solar. Now you get 10% off of your electric bill on the supply portion of your bill, up to $2,000 a year. That right there is probably a rate equalizer across the board, and they'll probably never leave you at that point, because getting 10% off every month for 20 years for signing up 3 community solar customers, one of them is yourself, getting 10% permanent discount like for 20 years, I don't think the utility can compete with us at all. I don't think anybody can compete with us in that regard. But then go and refer 4 more, and now you're at 40% off. You guys, you don't care what your rate is anymore. So, and you can even go higher and get 100% off if you get to 20, when you get to 20 referrals. So, yeah, I should say not 3 more referrals. I should 4 more referrals. I should have said 7 more referrals to get to 10. I'm sorry, I misspoke there. Doing math the wrong way with my COVID brain today. So yeah, 3, 10, and 20. That's how it works, you guys. Those are the benchmarks for it. So yes. All right. So I appreciate that. Let's see, Latasha, I'm going to look into that for you and just find out more about that and get that information out publicly, because I haven't had that experience with the local customers. So let me find out about that. Pastor Isaac, do we have a short video for the New Jersey rooftop solar? So we don't have New Jersey rooftop solar. We have New Jersey community solar, Pastor Isaac. We have a short video about community solar. It's 2 minutes long. Like 2.5 minutes long. We have that. It works for community solar in all markets. We do not have a short video yet for the Connecticut rooftop solar, but we will. And we have some great videos coming out. Corporate's working on them. Adam Smith, our new hire, who's come in as the vice president of engagement, basically, of customer and kind of advisor engagement. Apologize for my voice, guys. We have some great information coming out in videos, and he's a miracle worker with that. So we'll definitely get back to you on that as well and let you know. Don, as far as FEC, when a customer brings in 3 community solar customers, when do they start getting the 10%? Could they wait 6 to 12 months until the solar farm goes live? No, they when they make the referral as a community solar provider, once it's been accepted as a customer, I believe I'm going to have to look up the specifics on that. But as well, let's put it this way. As far as in the state of New York, how it went in the state of New York, it happened right away. As soon as the customer was accepted, it was basically like the next billing cycle after that is when they got it. So yeah, it can be very quick. In the state of Texas, it's right away because the customer becomes a customer immediately. And with electricity customers, as soon as they get activated, they go. But with community solar, I believe it's when they actually get approved and they're accepted and it's a verified customer. I don't think they have to wait until the farm goes live for that to happen. So we'll definitely I'll look into that and just make sure, because I want to get the policy straight on that. But as far as in the state of New York, that's how it worked. Can we gather customers in Queens, New York? Zoom user, no. I would say this: we don't have community solar available in that market. It's very far and few between when it becomes available. I mean, we can operate there, but there's just no farms available with enough capacity to make it worth our while. Same thing in Long Island for PSE&G in Long Island. So Con Edison in New York and Westchester County in New York, not going to happen. So that would include Queens. Customers can become Think Energy electricity customers in Queens, New York, in Con Ed, in all the entire state, but we're not allowed to sign them up as advisors or get credit for it. So they can sign up and get the benefits of becoming a Think Energy customer, and they can even go after free energy if they want. But we are not allowed to get a benefit from that in the state of New York as advisors. What we can get a benefit for in the state of New York is community solar. So that's our only service offering that advisors can benefit from in the state of New York. But again, customers can sign up directly with Think Energy in the state of New York by going to thinkenergy.com and signing up. It's not available through our advisor site. So I hope that helps, Zoom user. Deborah, feel better? Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. We're having fun with it, and definitely will feel better. Lavonda, thank you for that as well. You guys, we're going to be having just a lot more trainings about how to really build this, okay, nationally. I just told you there's people in Ohio that have been saying, well, I wish that I could have community solar in Ohio, or I wish that I had, rooftop solar in Ohio. And we'll eventually have those things there, yes, because rates aren't great right now. But what I just told you, and then we have people in Texas going, well, I'm glad I live in Texas because we got great promotions, or people in Virginia that know people in Texas. I'm glad I know people in Texas or New Jersey because we have great promotions there. That's fine. All the markets are good. But there's some when promotions are just that much more effective, and so you go after it and you run with it. Absolutely, like that just makes total sense from a common sense point of view. But what I will say is, I just mentioned that we have some things coming in, the Ohio market, in Pennsylvania and New Jersey markets on the electricity side. So now all of you people in all the other markets, like myself included, I got to be finding people in Ohio and Pennsylvania and New Jersey, even though I don't live there. And so you're going to want to start doing that. Okay. So start ramping up. I'm telling you right now, start ramping up. You want to start adding these states. New Jersey, we already have in the mix. Texas, Connecticut, those three are in the mix because we have promotions. You want to start adding Pennsylvania and Ohio to your ask list in addition to all of the other states. You always ask people where they know people in every state. But you want to put specific emphasis on those states because we have some things coming in those states now. And so I'm starting to think myself, I would start asking, I'd be like talking 5 states that I would really be emphasizing first, and then the rest of the states second. So Zev, go right ahead. I think you have a question.
Yes, hi. First, a speedy recovery to your
Hey, thanks.
COVID
Thanks a lot.
situation.
I appreciate it. It was worth, let me tell you what, if somebody told me, Zev, listen, Tony, you're going to go to Cabo and but you're going to have to get COVID to do it. I would say yes all day long because let me tell you what, that trip was so worthwhile. It was unbelievable. So what can I do for you, Zev?
Yeah, so in regards to New Jersey, when someone signs up for the 11.5 rate for 3 months, after 3 months, which rate will they be able to get? Will they be able to get into a different rate? Like, will they need to call in, or how does it
Yeah.
work?
So great question. So there's 2 things that'll happen. Okay. Well, let's see. There's 3 things that can happen. Let's do all 3 scenarios. The first one is they're going to get an email several times, a couple times at least, and or a text message depending on how they signed up, but they'll get a reminder letting them know that they can click on a link to renew their plan before it ends, and at that point they'll have the ability to choose from the plans that Think Energy offers so that a new customer would be able to get, right? So that's how it works. So if they don't, let's talk about if they don't renew. So they forget to renew and they lapse. I didn't pay attention to the email. You didn't remind them either. You didn't see it. They just forgot. Okay, great. At that point, they're going to automatically go back to the utility company. That's how it works in the state of New Jersey. So we don't have the ability to do the third option, which we have in some other states, in most other states, which is renew the customer on a fixed plan without them selecting one. So in New Jersey, if they don't renew, they're going right back to the utility company. But if they renew, they'll be able to renew on whatever they'd like to renew on. And then, of course, if the customer goes back to the utility and says, oh, wow, I got sent back to the utility. I totally forgot. I can't believe it. and now I'm paying this higher rate because rates went up. They can always call in and they can sign up again, choose a new plan as a customer, a repeat customer all over again, and they'll be moved right back to you if you're the EA that signed them up initially. And that's how it works. So it's kind of like they can do it by phone. They can do it by email with a link if they do it before their plan ends, or if they don't do anything, they'll get sent back to the utility. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, it does. So the plans that they will be having is that the same plans that new customers has?
Yeah. Yep. When they go in to select a new plan, and this goes for all states, every state, not just New Jersey, when a customer is coming up for renewal on electricity plans, they can go in and choose plans that they'll be able to go choose the plans that are available to the general public. So like if it's a 12-month plan, it's going to be the same 12-month plan that a new customer would get. If it's a 36-month plan, it's the same plan that a new customer would get. Now, what I will say is that we do have Think Basic plans, okay, as well. And sometimes those are shorter term. Most of the time, the Think Basic plan will not pop up as a renewal option for the customer because it's designed as a new customer only plan. Okay, so you probably won't see a customer going to renew, probably won't see the Think Basic plan there because again, it's designed for new customers. We lose money on that plan to get your customer in, initially. Um, but that doesn't mean that they can't call up. Like, let's say a customer, this is what I always tell all my customers when it's coming up for renewal time. I say, please renew before you expire, right before your plan expires. And then if you don't see something that you like that's to your, that you prefer, then call the customer service number because they'll be able to give you additional options. Like our customer care line, when someone calls into that customer care line, it's the job of the customer care people to keep our customer. And like that's their focus, that's their directive to not lose the customer. So if a customer doesn't see something that they like, they should always call into customer care to see if there's something that can be done to save that customer from leaving and save them from the hassle of canceling and starting over with a new company and going through the it's just a time, issue for customers these days. So we have a retention department in the company so that if somebody, even if they say, well, they talked to the first representative and they don't like what they heard, well, I'm not really sure. I think I'm going to go back to the utility or I'm going to cancel my service. They'll then be sent to a retention representative whose job is to the last resort try to keep them for you on behalf of you, the advisor. So we have several levels of protection to keep your customer happy, to keep them satisfied with a good rate, and to keep them and you and your residual income intact. So tell your customers, like if I tell my customers all the time, if you don't see something you like, call up Think Energy customer care. They might be able to do something for you that I can't. And that solves it right there.
That's great. So that's a very good option. So like because people would rather sign up for the 11.5 rate because they like to see the savings right away. So at least you
Mhm.
get them for a customer, and after the 3 months, if they don't like anything that is posted, they could call in to see what a better offer they could get because at that time prices will be already high. So
Right.
it will be a better choice for them to enroll like according to the utility prices. So that's a
Exactly.
good idea.
Exactly, Zeb. And I'll say this too. This is another thing I tell my customers. Like, let's say that you sign someone up on an 11.5 rate and they're coming up for renewal. Now, their renewal time is like 45 days out. We're reminding them like 45 to 60 days ahead of time, right? So, in that case, I tell my customer, if you go to renew and you don't see anything that you like, and then you call up Think Energy and they don't come up with something that you like, don't call the utility company and cancel. And don't tell Think Energy that you're going to cancel. Just let your 11.5 rate that you love right now, let it run out until as long as it'll end automatically by Think, and then they'll, by law, send you back to the utility and you'll enjoy the 11.5 rate for its entire duration. Whereas if you cancel a day or two before you should, you might lose a month of that or 2 months of that 11.5 rate. So always in the state of New Jersey, is one of the states. I think there's 4 states that do this, but in the state of New Jersey, because at the end of the term, if the customer hasn't renewed, Think automatically has to send them back to the utility. And if they don't do that, if they don't renew, they're going to go back to the utility, but it'll allow you to keep your plan with Think for the longest amount and give you then optimize and maximize your savings. So that's another point to think about too.
Wow, thank you so much. That's really helpful. Just
Okay.
one more thing. I think you already touched on that. You said that we don't have anything for Connecticut that we could provide for customers. Like,
Not on rooftop solar yet. We have websites and we have,
yeah.
we have a flyer. We just don't have a video yet.
Hmm. And the flyer is on Think Success
It's in thinksuccess.plus. Yep. It's on I'm sorry, not thinksuccess.plus.
and
It's
Marketing
in
Center.
marketing center in your back office. Exactly. So I appreciate that. Hey, everybody, I appreciate the time. I've got to run to get onto a virtual doctor appointment in 2 minutes. So we'll get the questions answered. Don, get back to me directly with the question. I'm not able to answer it right now, but we'll go from there. So I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you for your time. And we'll get this recorded. It is recorded. We'll get it posted into all of our YouTube channels and Facebook and Telegram and WhatsApp. Everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Tony
Thank you so
Procopio.
much.
All right, take care, Zev. Over and out.